Hello, and welcome to a presentation on Quaker Dissension by myself, Christopher Thomas, Jack Philippine, and Shannon Kershey. We will be going over a brief history and a brief explanation of the Quaker religion, and later going about some dissension between the Quaker ideals and scuffles within the religion.
Our research topic was Massachusetts Bay Colony Quaker Dissension. Quakers are a member of a religious society of Friends, which is a faith that emerges as a new Christian denomination in England during a period of religious turmoil in the mid-1600s and is practiced today in a variety of ways around the world. Quakers, unlike most Christian beliefs, believed in predestination, which meant that God had a plan for you before you were born and decided what you would do with your life and after you lived on earth, if you would go to heaven or not. And every human had God inside of them in some way, shape, or form, they believed, because God believed everyone was equal. Everyone had a different experience with God, unlike most religious beliefs like Protestant and Catholics. They believed how they had the Bible and would follow that. Quakers believed that due to the internal God, you had a connection with God and an experience with God unlike anyone else. And as well, God believed that everyone was equal, whether it be male, woman, child, elder, and they had equal status throughout the religion.
The Quakers were ruthlessly persecuted among other Christians. They were hated because of their progressive ideals such as ending slavery and reform for prisons and charitable institutions.
The leader of one of the biggest controversies that the Quakers had to deal with was Anne Hutchinson. She was born in Lincolnshire in England, and she immigrated to Massachusetts Bay in 1634. And she was highly regarded in the community for her intelligence and caring nature, which again shows how the Quakers thought that both men and women were equal, which is how she was able to have this high social status at this time. The controversy that Anne Hutchinson led was called the Antinomian Controversy, and it lasted from 1636 to 1638. So although Quakers believe that a person is predestined to either go to heaven or hell, they still need to live according to the law, but Anne Hutchinson and her followers believed otherwise. They believed in antinomianism, which means that conformity to law is not required for salvation, which means going to heaven. And so both Anne Hutchinson and the Quakers believed in predestination, but Hutchinson believed that it didn't matter how you acted in your life because you're predestined and it wouldn't change no matter what. And the Puritans thought this antinomianism was very dangerous because it told people that you don't have to be good to be saved, and that's how the government kept a lot of their power over the people because they were so obedient. And they thought that if you gave people an inch of wiggle room, they would take it to the extreme. So from the Quaker perspective, Anne Hutchinson was very dangerous and promoted evil, and that's shown in this quote from one of her trials, which is, "You are called here as one of those that have troubled the peace of the Commonwealth and the churches here." And it really shows how they thought she was just rousing up trouble with her new beliefs, and so she was excommunicated from the Church of Boston, as well as arrested for heresy, and she was then banished from Massachusetts in 1637. Another leader of disagreement within the Quaker Society was Roger Williams. He was originally from London and immigrated to America in 1631, and he was one of the first to preach separation of church and state, which we would later find in our Constitution. And he also disagreed with taking land from Native Americans without paying them, which was obviously continued until fairly recently. And because of him speaking out against these issues, he was banished from Massachusetts.
Thank you for watching. I hope that answered any questions you had about Quaker Dissension. Thanks for watching.